You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. 2 people are being questioned after a report of shots fired this morning in the city of Hazleton. Officers say a gunshot was heard in the area of Church Street around 10 this morning. During the police investigation, a rifle and used cartridge were found near a storage business. Officers also found a man hiding in a junked car in the woods and a woman near the business. Luckily, no one was hurt. Police are calling it a domestic incident and continue to look into who fired the gun this morning in Hazleton. Republican candidate for Pennsylvania Governor Jake Corman announced that he's dropping out of the race and endorsing Barletta. During this morning's press conference in Harrisburg, the state senator said that it's time for him to step aside and support someone who can win in the fall. He asked other GOP gubernatorial candidates to consider getting behind one Republican and stated that Republicans have an opportunity to win against Democrat Josh Shapiro. Corman pointed out that his name will still be on the ballot, but asked supporters to vote for Barletta instead. This morning's announcement came just days before Pennsylvania's Tuesday, May 17th primary. A Pittston man faces numerous charges after a drug investigation uncovered nearly $250,000 worth of narcotics. Investigators from Pittston City and the Luzerne County Drug Task Force conducted a search at a home on Market Street Monday. Investigators say they seized approximately $250,000 worth of narcotics, which resulted in the arrest of John Donahue. 6 firearms were also seized, including an assault weapon and several $1,000s in cash. Donahue was charged with related offenses and will also face multiple probation violations. A Hazleton man was sentenced 24 months behind bars and 1 year of supervised release for identity theft and immigration offenses. 36-year-old Adrian Hernandez Gutierrez was sentenced for the crimes of aggravated identity theft, social security account number fraud, and illegal re-entry of a removed alien. The previously deported alien was arrested back on March 4th of last year in Hazleton. Further investigation revealed that he fraudulently used the identity of a U.S. citizen, including a counterfeit Social Security card, to obtain a Pennsylvania driver's license. He went on to use that to cash thousands of dollars in checks to assist his employer in maintaining an all-cash payroll that, in turn, allowed his employer to avoid employment tax responsibilities. His employer, Charles Ehrenberg of Hazleton-based Ehrenberg Roofing and Construction Incorporated, was separately prosecuted and pled guilty to criminal tax violations. 2 men have been charged in relation to 14 burglaries that took place at properties in Columbia County last year. Between March and June of 2021, police say 14 properties reported having items stolen from them, including electronics like televisions, as well as firearms and ammunition. During the investigation, 20-year-olds Colton Opel and Josh Yake were arrested for burglary by another station and were able to identify several of the properties that had been burglarized. Searches conducted on several properties the 2 were known to occupy recovered approximately 224 stolen items. The duo faces multiple counts of burglary, theft, and trespassing, among other related charges, and are both being held in Columbia County Prison. Officials with the Griffin Pond Animal Shelter are asking for your help after 2 puppies were found abandoned in a Scranton dumpster. The discovery was made yesterday in the 10 block of Jackson Street in the city's west side. The male and female pit bull mixes were in what was described as rough shape. They're now looking at security camera video from the area from just before midnight Tuesday until yesterday morning around 4:30. Anyone with any information on who may have left the pair of puppies behind is being asked to get in contact with Scranton Animal Control or Griffin Pond. A man was taken into custody for starting a brush fire Wednesday afternoon in Mahanoy Township. Emergency crews were called to 180 Park Place Road just before 3 p.m. yesterday for a report of a large brush fire that was quickly spreading. The fire was brought under control within half an hour, but managed to burn a 40 by 40 yard hillside that contained tires, chairs, a television, and a mattress. A suspicious person was reportedly seen in a gray t-shirt and tattoos with a bicycle standing over the fire before fleeing the scene. Just 15 minutes later, the male suspect was located and identified as 34-year-old Shane Yetsena, who was taken into custody without incident. He admitted to starting the fire and was charged with felony arson and risking a catastrophe, as well as misdemeanor recklessly endangering another person. He was arraigned and locked up in Schuylkill County Prison on $10,000 straight cash bail. Talon Energy Supply has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The Texas-based company that runs 18 power generation facilities, including the Susquehanna Nuclear Power Plant in Salem Township, filed for Chapter 11 protection Monday night. The move was reportedly made to reduce its $4.5 billion debt load and bring in $1.65 billion in new equity from certain bondholders. Company officials said the investment will accelerate Talon Energy Supply's clean power transformation, advance carbon-free data center growth initiatives, and maximize value to stakeholders. The company also assured that the move will not affect employees' jobs, which includes the nearly 900 people that work at the Susquehanna Nuclear Power Plant. Coming up on WYLN News, another cougar goes collegiate, plus a local exotic bird rescue gets to continue its work. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old. It's kind of partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Hi, I'm Mike LaRocca. I'm running for state representative in the 116th district. I've lived in this district my whole life. I've been in business here for over 20 years. Just like you, I'm frustrated with the directions things are going. When elected, I will be the firm voice for seniors, veterans, law enforcement, and all citizens in the 116. I promise to bring as much funding into this district to improve quality of life and lighten the burden of those on fixed incomes. I cannot do this without your vote on May 17th. Send me to Harrisburg. I will not let you down.
Memberships are available at the Valley Country Club in Sugarloaf. The new upgrades will leave you with a distinctive and unique experience unlike any other venue in Northeast PA. Call Frank Gradis 570-233-5328. Email vccpro@thevalleycountryclub.com.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
At 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
a Hazleton area cougar signed her way to continue her athletic and academic career. Our Mackenzie Ocker tells us where she's heading to.
A member of the Lady Cougar track and field team will be continuing her athletic and academic career this fall. Senior Abby Hengst signed with Division I Bucknell University, where she'll major in English Literature Education and throw the javelin.
Honestly, academic-wise, it's a great school, so I thought it fit perfectly. And then sports-wise, great facilities, great coaches, honestly, sports management at that school is amazing, and I thought it would be the best place for me. Also, it's not too far away, but it's still a little bit far away, so it's just a perfect fit.
Hanks couldn't have done all of this without her family's support, and they too are eager for her to start her athletic and academic career at Bucknell.
They've been incredible. They love Bucknell as well. They're excited, especially to go to a school that's great academic-wise and sports-wise, and they get to drive to some of the events. So they're definitely happy about that, but they've been an incredible support throughout this entire process.
The bond between teammates is always special. Hanks talks about what she'll miss the most about being part of the team.
Definitely being surrounded by the teammates, the coaches that we have, and honestly the community that we have too. Everybody who's in the track community, even in the Hazleton community, we all support each other. It's a great environment around here.
Nick Gaudiano, throwing coach at Hazleton, speaks about how Hengst is a team player and what she brings to the sport as well.
She's won everything we've ever done. She has won, and it's not just like the athletics of it. It's the things that she brings to the sport, always helping other kids. You know, the younger ones, the junior high, and that's what athletics is about. Not always about I, but we.
Hanks, from her freshman year up until now, has been an outstanding athlete and will be competing in the PIAA AAA districts to defend her state champion title.
Her freshman year, she actually had one of the best throws, she had the best throw in Pennsylvania as a freshman. And she threw it at districts, and she progressed along and then went on as a junior to win the PIAA state championship. Which brings us to the question mark. We have districts on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll find out how it ends, this story.
All of us here at Wyln wish Abby good luck in districts and in her athletic and academic career. Reporting in Hazleton for Wyln Sports, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thank you, Mackenzie. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins have made it to the semifinals. The Penguins have been facing off with the Springfield Thunderbirds in the Atlantic Division semifinals best-of-5 series. Last night's Game 1 at Springfield saw Pence come up short with a score of 4-1. Game 2 tonight will be on the road once again, starting at 7:05 p.m. The Pens will be making their way back over to Mohegan Sun for Game 3, which is scheduled for a 5:05 p.m. start on Sunday, May 15th. Approval was given for a home occupancy permit to continue a bird rescue in Plymouth Township. Linda Wren and her family have been helping out an established bird rescue for years. The effort's been spearheaded by her 10-year-old daughter, Evelyn, who's become known as the Bird Whisperer. The zoning board voted last night to grant a variance so that they can continue to operate Evelyn's exotic bird rescue and adoptions in a residential zone. Many supporters turned out, and many letters of support were offered, including one from a local humane officer. Several of the exotic birds also made an appearance at last night's zoning hearing. Coming up on Chick Shinny's News Choice, we take a throwback trip down to the Hillside SPCA and Community and You, plus Leading the Way, Part 4. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on Wyln TV.
Abby is still perfecting her sidekick, and her jab is just for show. But for Abby, this is a remarkable day, because Abby recently defeated a real foe, cancer, when she partnered with Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital, a children's hospital close to home with more than 30 pediatric specialties. Take a bow, Abby. You deserve it. Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital. Your health deserves a partner.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Hi everybody. This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Dr. Alex, Dr. John, my beautiful granddaughter Layla, we're going to be here with Connie. Connie was a good patient for 30 years, but then in a recent car accident, chiropractic saved her. So tune into the show. It's going to be well worth your time.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
With the weather getting warmer and nature starting to bloom, pet owners have to be cautious of those pesky fleas and ticks. Though some may think that they only thrive in the hotter months, pets should be treated year-round.
People don't think you have to treat them in the wintertime, but you do. Once a month, or you can get other ones that are, some of them are like every 3 months, or I forget how some of them work, but you don't realize what not treating them does. You know, they come in with Lyme disease, and if it's too far gone, sometimes you can't save the animal. It affects their organs, it makes them very sick, and it's just, if you test them and they're positive, it's medicine that can fix it. So it is a fixable disease if you catch it in time. So we always recommend always checking them for fleas, ticks, heartworm, Lyme disease, all that. Now we don't do the heartworm and Lyme testing here, but every time we do an adoption, we do recommend that they do that because we don't do it here.
Flea and tick bites can wreak havoc on an animal's system, and they may take some time to fully recover.
This is Bobo. She has a terrible flea allergy. She's missing a lot of her fur all over her legs. I mean, she was in pretty sad shape when she came in. She's also heartworm positive. She came from South Carolina, and her owner surrendered her and her 2 siblings, and they're all between 8 and 10 years old, which is very heartbreaking because that's all they knew. So we immediately had her to the vet, and she is now being treated for it because she was never treated for it. So it's going to take us that much longer to help her. So we can't emphasize enough to get the flea and tick treatment. It's to benefit the dog. It's going to save you a lot of money down the road because vet bills aren't cheap.
Holly talks about some of the signs and symptoms to look out for.
Like the Lyme disease, some may become fatigued. You notice they're a difference in their stamina. They're weaker, you could tell they're sick. And sometimes they'll start limping on one leg, and not that that's always going to be Lyme disease, but that is one of the signs that if you get a dog test and it's positive, you're going to see symptoms like that. And if they're treated and tested yearly like they should be, it won't get so far gone that you can't help the animal.
Heartworm is also a very serious condition. Dogs like Boba, who did contract the disease, must receive treatments and walk on a slow road to recovery.
Going through the treatment, it's a lot to be treated for heartworm, but she gets, short walks, and you just limit. She has to stay as calm as she can. Heartworm is a very serious condition. When people, I think, just think it's like another parasite, and it's not. Heartworm is, not that they're all not bad, but heartworm is very, very, she can't live without her heart, So the medicine that she's on now and will be receiving over the course of time will kill that. And hopefully she'll make a full recovery from it.
Next time, we'll be discussing the importance of microchipping and how it can bring a lost pet home quickly and safely.
The clear choice for our next state representative is Gary Perna. Gary is the only candidate with real city and township government experience, working in both Luzerne and Schuylkill counties. Gary serves in multiple communities as a volunteer firefighter and gives his time to countless organizations. It's time we send one of us to represent all of us in Harrisburg. On May 17th, vote Gary Perna Jr. for state representative.
I'm Gary Perna Jr., and I approve this message.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your ER partner.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy is now open at 743 Catawissa Road in Tamaqua. Stop by the Dairy Bar, try over 33 flavors of homemade ice cream still made on the premises, and a full menu of hot food made to order. Have some fun at their driving range, or play mini golf on their 2 18-hole mini golf courses. Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy, celebrating 65 years. Same great taste, same great location, same great memories to be made.
We all need a midweek pick-me-up, and WYLN TV 35 is your home for good news on Wednesdays. All our good news stories will be printed in the WYLN TV Pennies Classified Good News Bulletin, distributed throughout the community and digitally posted on WYLN News Facebook page and on our website. If you have good news to share, contact us to be featured in our special Good News edition. Good events, good people, good jobs, all good news.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Mary Beth Cook's leading the way into part 4 of this week's series.
Welcome back to this week's Leading the Way, and with me is Mary Beth Cook. She is the Executive Director of Helping Hands. And Mary Beth, we're going to talk about you being the Executive Director. So, can you give us a typical Mary Beth Cook, I'm the Executive Director day?
Well, it varies. And it's usually always a good day because there's always some child that will just make your day. Very hectic. I mean, between the fundraising and then the classes, and I try to observe the classes. I sometimes fill in as a substitute teacher. But a typical day around here is just love and laughter and fun and teaching and learning.
And tell us a little bit about the staff.
The staff is amazing. And without a staff like that, the children would not progress like they do. They work from the heart. They are very skilled, educated, and our paraprofessionals are fantastic. There is just no child that they will not try and help. And I mean, sometimes you have some that, can be a little defiant or, your usual things, and they just will not give up. And it's all about getting that child to achieve as much as they can, get them ready for school, for kindergarten, and let them have the self-confidence to try things and do things. And it's just such a fabulous team.
Now,
everyone here.
When we're talking about being the executive director, that means that you have many hats that you have to wear, and fundraising is probably one of the biggest.
It is, and we're always out there fundraising because we couldn't do anything for 2 years, not much, and that's how we survive. Our telethon, our Office Olympics, our Diamond Drop Dance, and the CHIPS program that supports us. They couldn't have any of their fundraisers, so it was really rough. We did get some funding, some supplemental funding, but it was very difficult to hang on. But I said we have guardian angels because we managed to survive. We always do. And it's a big part of the generous public. We had a mail-a-thon last year instead of a telethon. That went very well. And
you also have a board of directors, right?
We have a great board of directors who, everybody puts something into it. They have different talents, different ideas, so they see the importance of what we do and they see the success. And the success, you see in the children over the years, and they see it too. And it just makes you want to try harder and harder and never give up.
Well, when we wrap things up tomorrow evening, we're going to find out more about Mary Beth Cook and Helping Hands, and we certainly hope that you will join us on Leading the Way.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.